rock and roll, all in one station, mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY New Waverly, Texas, 91.1 FM, The Boss. It's time to change. If you like country, we play it. If you like pop, we play it. If you like Latin music, we play it. If you like rock and roll, we play it. Because no one does fusion music like we do. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Programs presented are submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM, The Boss, and affiliates.
Welcome to Today with Cachet. It's Digitalk Friday, the day we discuss social and business transformation in this digital age. Get ready, folks, for loose, fun, and hopefully inspiring dialogue. I'm Jesus, your guest co-host. To my right, the lady of the hour and namesake of the show, also known as my better half. Take it away, Cachet.
Well, thank you. Hello, everyone. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
It is.
And we are honored.
We're kind of honored this afternoon. Don't let me say this morning. I keep mixing it up because I used to do 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I can't make any more mistakes.
Yeah, that's right. We are honored to have somebody, and his reputation precedes him.
Hopefully this will give us a few brownie points.
That's right.
You know?
And how do you define those brownie points with him?
Well, less burpees, less lunges,
less running.
Cachet, your boxing move, you got that 1, 2, 3 right, which he's amazing though.
That's right.
The reason why I have gotten to the point I've gotten to is he's so technical and he's so on point.
That's right.
He watches everything.
And we're talking about Anel Kalunga, private trainer and trainer extraordinaire with Baby Bull Boxing.
Hey guys,
welcome, Anel.
Thank you.
Welcome. So, how did the training go this morning with your private client? All good?
It went well. I've been working with these two brothers for now about a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
They've been getting significantly better.
Yeah.
Just tweaking little things here and there. Technically speaking, we do boxing to begin, and then a little conditioning afterwards.
There's something that Anel really brings on board, and we're so glad that you're here. Is that it doesn't matter what exercise we're doing, whether it's a non-boxing exercise or whether it's a boxing routine or one-on-ones. You're very technical about that, and we appreciate that. We've got somebody that I brought my girlfriend in, to join us at Baby Bull. I've been there for over 2 years, and at every class or at every encounter with you, there's something that we can improve. I mean, you look for that.
Okay, tell me the truth, Anel. Do I suck? Let's get it out, man. Or am I getting better?
No, you're getting better. It's boxing's a skill set, right? So it's one of those things where you're not just going to pick it up one day after another, right? It's continuously growing and understanding like different little cues and things like that. I mean, I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and even I will ask Brian or Alex or some of the other instructors, be like, hey, this doesn't feel right. What do you think? And they'll describe it in a different way. Right, and so that'll kind of either give me some kind of mentality as to like, okay, maybe I got to do this better, maybe I got to do that better, shift a little bit here, so on and so forth. So I truly believe that, let's going back to those burpees. I'd rather you do 5 great burpees than give me 20 crappy ones, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're not getting the whole movement in,
right,
then what's the point?
Something that I admire about Baby Bull is the quality of the trainers. Starting with Brian as a co-owner, but also the quality of the trainers. And I believe that somebody as skilled as you're an expert in your field. You do a couple of different things. We're going to get to that in a second. But why did you select Baby Bull to work at? Because there's Title Boxing, there's kickboxing places, there's LA Fit, and there's all these other gyms. But what attracts the trainers to go and work for Baby Bull?
So funny story, actually, Brian's wife is my old AP English teacher.
Wow.
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 And so right when I graduated college, I went to go, do you remember Bianca Soto?
Yeah.
So I went to go watch her first amateur fight, and that's when Brian's wife came up to me and was like, hey, Brian's opening up a gym. Would you be interested?
Okay.
And so I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I've always loved boxing, but I never really understood the technical aspect of it, right? And I didn't understand that it was more of a chess game than
Boy,
just
that's true.
Than just beating the crap out of each other, right?
Yeah.
So I went in for the interview with Brian. I was wearing a suit and everything, and he's like, all right, this is going to be more of a formal interview. So
By the way, your jacket's nicer than mine, man.
Thank you. So I went in for the interview, and then after that, he was like, do you have any gym clothes? And I was like, yeah. And so I changed. And then from there, it was just an onslaught of just consistently trying to get better over and over again. Because he told me, he's like, listen, if you're going to work with me, you need to be in shape.
Had you had a base before? Were you always an athlete? Did you work out? What was your background like?
So in high school,
Yeah.
I did soccer, I did volleyball. And in college, I was part of the Syracuse boxing team.
Oh, cool.
But it wasn't to the extent that it is now,
Yeah.
right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And so I remember Brian's words directly were like, hey, you need to get in shape. In the back of my head, I was like, oh, I can knock out 20 push-ups. Not the kind of shape I thought he wanted me to get into.
Interesting.
Right? So believe it or not, I was 209 pounds at the time. And
209?
209 pounds, yeah.
Wow.
I was totally out of shape.
Wow.
And after that, it was just like every week I'd walk into Brian's office and he'd be like on the scale, and I hated it.
Oh
I hated
my
it.
gosh.
I'd be on
Wow.
the scale, and he'd be like, all right, no more soda this week. Ever. No more this, no more. And so it was progressively, right? It was baby
Yeah,
steps over
yeah.
and over again.
Yeah.
And that's how I took my training now. And now it's one of those things where it's like just, if I want to change something, whether it's my mindset or whether it's like a different workout or regimen, I set it up so I hit these checkpoints and I hit my goal at the end.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
in 4 months, I lost like 30 pounds.
Wow.
Got into some crazy shape.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just being completely sore. And I had the honor of actually doing a training camp with Juan Diaz right before he retired.
Yeah, tell us about Juan Diaz again.
So he's a 4-time world champion.
Yeah.
Does not mess around. That man's
No,
training regimen
he is dedicated, man.
Oh, man.
That dude is dedicated.
It's insane. So I remember this one workout where Brian had us do 5 long jumps. And on the 5th one, as soon as you land, you sprint. And so we had to do it 5 times.
Yeah.
First time, completely, I destroyed Juan.
Okay.
Just left in my dust. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, all right, I got this.
I got this.
Second round, he's like right on my heels. And I'm like, I'm tired. 3rd round, he's in front of me. 4th
Yeah.
round, I can't even keep. 5th round, I didn't finish the jumps.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just remember thinking to myself, wow, there are 100% levels to this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So watching him, like Brian would say something like, all right, Juan, you got to knock out 20 push-ups, champ, 20 pull-ups, champ. And he'd hang on that bar.
That's right.
He would hang on that bar at
That's
like
right.
15 and not get off until he got those other
He
ones.
hung there because Brian told us the story about that. That's true. That is dedication. Dedication to the craft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's being dedicated. That's being
Well,
dedicated.
Sush, you can do some pull-ups yourself. I don't
Well,
know.
that's been over time,
Oh,
babe. Thank you,
wow.
but that's been over time, and we get pushed. But
Okay.
I want to talk about this consistency because you see the familiar faces, you see the trainers over and over and over again, and I think, and tell me if you agree, babe, that Anel epitomizes the typical baby bull boxing member. What's the tip? How do you profile the typical member?
So it's someone who. So as soon as they walk in, everyone that first week is always like a shock to them,
Right.
Because they have
That's
no
true.
idea.
That's true.
What they got themselves into,
Right.
right?
That's true.
And it's weird because like you said it before, like we keep everyone on check, but
Mm-hmm.
when you first walk in, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, this is your freebie pass, right? We're
Okay.
gonna be nice, quote unquote,
And you guys are.
to an extent,
To a point.
to an extent. So it's always like, we have this new client who just walked in and she's having a few issues with certain things, and
Yeah.
so I told her, I was like, listen, I know it says 5 rounds up there, shoot for 3 good ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, it goes back to that progression. There's no point in setting some goal that you're not going to hit, and then all of a sudden you feel bad about yourself. Right. It's about hitting those checkpoints and progressively
Yeah.
getting better.
Yeah.
You have the 2 brothers that are working out in the morning. You and I saw them, babe, in the morning. How do you know? Because now we've been seeing them consistent, but I've seen other clients that have come in with you or with Alex or with Brian, and then you never see them again. How do you know, now that you've been, in training and personal training, really at an elevated level for a while, how do you know if somebody's going to stick?
No, that's a great question.
So one thing that we've and Brian, Alex, and I we'll have these weekly meetings and we'll talk about this. Like, what is it that helps people stay? And it's accountability, right?
Okay,
But it's
that's
also
true.
everyone's got a different goal.
Okay.
Whether someone might be to finally be able to do that pull-up, or someone else might want to just fit in those jeans again, correct?
Yeah.
So
There you go.
it changes, and it makes a big difference asking them
Right.
off the bat, like, what is your goal, right? Because at that point,
Yeah.
they're not in this journey
That's a
by
very good
themselves,
point.
right? It's
Yeah.
you're right there next to them, being like, hey, remember what you're trying to work towards,
Right.
right? And typically, in my opinion, when someone doesn't know, like they're like, oh, a friend told me to try this out.
Okay.
That's kind of like that red flag where it's like,
okay.
like, all right, you're doing this to get them off your back. That's
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
But typically around like I'd say the 4th and the 5th session, if they're like, you know what, I'm starting to get this more, or if they start asking a lot of questions
Yeah.
or things like
Yeah.
that, that's when we kind of start reeling them in, right? And we'll start cranking up
Right.
the level a little bit here and there.
Very good
What
point.
kept you back? Obviously, you and I, this is something that we enjoy together, you and
Yeah,
I. But
you,
what's been
you.
the,
Yeah.
because I had a different motive.
Okay.
I joined Baby Bull before I met you, before I had the blessing of
Sure,
meeting you.
sure.
But what kept you going that is attractive to you?
No, it was the pure authenticity. I say this every time.
Okay.
Because you go to so many different places and you've seen so many different things. It was the fact that I saw that you guys really paid attention and you really take the time to know exactly what I'm doing. You're watching, you're paying it, and once you've got a feel. You're feeling kind of how I flow and what I'm doing. You give me that personal one-on-one attention to help me grow, and because of that, and then you start seeing the results too. And because I saw myself getting better, I
Right.
saw before it was, how am I going to do a 1, 2, 3, 5? It's never going to happen like that. And then
Yeah.
it was after I got the 1, 2, 3, 5s down. Now it's the technique. And so it's consistently seeing that you're paying attention, you're watching me, and I'm seeing myself improve. It's that dedication. I mean, they're committed to watching you, to making sure you get it, and actually, I'm improving.
So, but you've got to put the work in. So my question, Anel, is
Yeah.
this: we've got folks out in the audience that are listening. They're saying, "Hey, I want to get fit.
Yeah.
I want to be more dedicated. I want to be more
wanna get in those
consistent.
jeans."
I want to fit into the jeans and all that." They'll say, "You're obviously going to provide accountability, but they've got to put the work in." So,
absolutely.
how do you build somebody up that has had bad habits, or let's say less consistent habits, and get them on a routine? Because they've got to want it, but they still got to be able to build those habits. How do you guide them through that?
Well, it's the same thing as how Brian guided me, right? With every week I had to give something up, right? It's not so much like getting into shape. It's not one day you just wake up and all of a sudden you've lost 20 pounds, right?
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
It's a lot of work on your own behalf. So,
Right.
you know, one thing that we also ask is like, okay, well, what are your eating habits? What's this? What's that? Are you sleeping enough, right? And
Right.
so they'll tell us, and they'll be like, well, this and that. Or so, for example, one client, I remember a conversation, she's like, well, I love sweets. I'm like, that's fine. She's like, and I'm trying to give them up. I was like, for what? Like,
Yeah.
don't be miserable about it.
Right,
either.
right.
Right? I was like, so if let's say, for example, you like Hershey's, right? So it's broken up into bars. All right, buy one Hershey bar for 3 days, and break it up into sections. And
Yeah.
slowly like treat yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
play
yeah.
with it,
But
psychology.
don't like just cut it all out. That's not fun.
So, well, it's not going to
Yeah.
work.
No, it's
I
not
mean,
gonna
gonna
work.
last.
Then I think that's the reason why people give up so quickly, because they say, "Well, I
Yeah.
can't maintain this because I'm trying to keep up with everybody else." Would you agree with
Oh,
that?
absolutely.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
always one of those things where, even in the boxing, right?
Yeah.
Like we'll give a combination. Alex is known to give out long combinations.
Yeah, he does.
Right. And they tell me, and someone told me like, man, I can't keep up with Alex's combination. Like, why are you trying to? Like, no,
Yeah.
it's not your job. Your
Right.
job is
Yeah.
to get a workout in and to slowly get better. Right.
Right.
They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So if the combination is 1, 2, slip, 2, 3, 2, roll right, 2, 3. Then just stick to what you know. So if all you know is that 1, 2, slip, 2, 3,
yeah.
then stick to that and give me the best damn 1, 2, slip right, 2, 3 you can give me.
But you also take that time, and when you're telling us the move, and this is what I don't know if you know the amount, how you're supposed to tell people before we do it. You do it just the right amount of times for me to remember and before you go. And I'm like, how does he know that? Like, you go, okay, I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to show you. I'm like, I need one more shot. And I'm like, yes. And then you take, it's almost like intuitive. That's what I was getting at earlier. You actually are reading enough of having done this enough to kind of get an idea of how do I move and what do I need to do with each person.
Yeah, so
and I love that.
Yeah, that goes back to like kind of
Yeah.
again like paying attention to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Someone gets it, they're already going back to their bag, and you can see
Right,
them doing it slowly.
right.
When I get the deer in headlight looks, I'm like, okay, one more time then.
Explain it 3 times before
Yeah,
the round
exactly.
begins. Yeah. So we do the 5 o'clock class. Before we end the segment, I said, "How do you make it to the 5 o'clock?"
How do
Because we
make
start
it?
at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Start at 5 a.m.
We start at 5.
We
yeah.
start at 5.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
It's taking some time. It's taking some time. I'm gonna be honest. The COVID didn't help. I got used to waking up at like 6 a.m., which is sleeping in for me now.
Yeah.
But now I wake up at 3. So I have 3 dogs. I'll take them out for a nice little walk.
We have a
after
picture
that.
of your dogs if you can pull that
think
up.
they
Let's
can
see
pull
if we
that
can pull
up.
your picture
Yeah.
of your dogs. So, yeah.
I'll take them for a walk. As soon as we get back, I'll start my breakfast. Then feed them.
There they are.
Yeah, those 2 knuckleheads. Yeah. After we eat breakfast together, because they won't eat unless I eat. It's really weird.
Oh, how cool. It's family.
All right. And then from there, I'll go back outside, let them run around one last time, make sure all my stuff's on tack.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
That is dedication. Well, we've got Anel for the full hour, folks, so we will take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Are you ready to vote for the first time? If you're a U.S. citizen, meet your state's requirements, and will be 18 by Election Day, you can vote. But first, you need to register before your state's deadline. Check with your local election office. You can register there, or you may be able to register online at the Department of Motor Vehicles or using the National Mail Voter Registration Form. Your election office may send you a voter registration card listing your polling place. On Election Day, that's where you'll go. When you get there, you may need to show an ID to vote. Then, fill out your ballot. If you don't know how, ask a poll worker. If you know you won't be able to get there on Election Day, you may qualify to vote by mail. Remember, voting rules are different in every state. Learn more about voting at usa.gov/voting.
Hi, I'm Isaac White, owner of the Isaac White Agency, a full-service property and casualty insurance agency located in Texas. Whether you need us to help you with your auto or your home insurance, your boat or your RV, we've got you covered. And our goal is to make sure you feel good about your insurance. Call us at 936-448-4000.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
And we've got Anel Kalunga, also known as Annihilation. At
I
the beginning when I
remember
met him, I
first
used to
time
call
you
him
said that.
Anarchy.
Yes.
It was, or the Anarchist or Anarchy, but let's not use the word Anarchist right now.
I
We called him
remember the first time you said
Annihilation
that.
because that's what he did with me when I first joined 2 years ago
Wow.
at Baby Bull Boxing. Tell us a little bit about what you do outside of the gym. You've got some cool stuff going on. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so I've so when I graduated college, I graduated with a degree in sculpture, a minor in jewelry metalsmithing. And so my goal has always been to take that and run with it a little bit. So I'm in the process of building my own shop, fabrication
we have some
shop.
pictures.
Yeah, there's some pictures I think coming up. Go ahead.
And so I started off with setting up a goal, as in like how big and all the parameters on the shop itself and what I wanted to do with it, the machine list, all that other stuff. And over the past 3-4 years, I've been slowly chipping away at that.
Yeah.
And finally broke ground on it August. And very happy about it. One thing that I've taken advantage of at Baby Bull Boxing is, as you guys know, it's filled with just professionals who
Yes.
want to better themselves physically and health-wise. So what I've done is I've taken advantage of that and talked to them and asked them, if they're, my favorite question to ask people is, if there's one mistake you made,
Yeah.
what would you
Very good.
What would you change?
Very
right?
good.
And
Very good.
Because again, my opinion is you learn more from your mistakes than your successes.
Right.
So they've all said, okay, start this, do this, so on and so forth, and I've tried to take as much of it as possible and just pinpoint it towards that goal.
Yeah, my mistake was not meeting cash earlier in my life.
You want? Come on. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? After now you know, right? No, but so what made you want to build your own, then go lease a building, buy a building? That takes a different level of thinking, right?
So just understand what you're building is a fabrication shop and to do 3D print. I think
Yeah.
also sculpting
Yeah.
and 3D printing.
3D printing. So the route I'm going to take is start off with a pretty broad spectrum of things. So I'm also going to have like a drafting studio. So I've been selling paintings and stuff like that as well. So I'm going to start with a pretty broad spectrum, and then depending on how everything goes, kind of narrow it down towards something else.
Very
right?
good. Very good.
Instead of going headfirst into one thing and then
One thing that I've learned about Anel and getting to know him,
Yeah.
just personally, is that we talk a lot about trends and things that are coming up in fitness and in the digital world. And this is one reason I wanted to bring him in to
Right.
talk to us today. So I've got six fitness trends that are highlighted as hot, if you will, for 2020. I want to get your take on these, Anel, as an expert, and then I want to get your take, babe,
Okay.
as a consumer
Okay, cool.
on these. And so I'm going to list these out, and let's have a little conversation about this, because I think people at home are also wondering, is this an effective way to go? I might not have the facility to be able to go to a gym or the access to, or I can do this in my house, et cetera. How good would it be to pick this up? One of the fitness trends that was highlighted for 2020 is high-tech fitness at home. Fitness at home, high-tech. Let me expand on that. You've got digital on-demand fitness through the computer, through your phone, and also tuning into live workouts. What do you think about that?
So during the quarantine, we did a couple live workouts, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that I've noticed is that it's a little bit difficult to have that interaction with the client
Yeah.
in terms of like their form and if they're doing it correctly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Because
We
it-
had to
look
correct
great.
ourselves.
You look
Well, we
great.
did. Yeah, we had to correct ourselves.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Good
And
point.
so there's certain ways that I feel like it's great because, again, you have that safety of being at home, right?
Sure.
Especially in this weird time. But it's disadvantages, right? Because there's certain things that can be modified so that a person who isn't as flexible can change. But not having that knowledge kind of limits it also.
What did you think, babe? Because you and I did the Instagram training
We
that
did.
Anel did.
That's how I learned about
Alex
it, too.
did.
Yeah.
The Brian, led. What did you think about that?
Well, that was really cool to be able to, because I got to see them as their personality.
Right.
So they were, that strong personality,
Right.
that dedication. So that came out. So I was like, oh, wow, when this opens back up, I can't wait to get in.
Right.
So there was that anticipation. And I felt like I was learning, for me, it was learning a style of workout that I hadn't done really before.
Okay.
So it was that challenge, also on screen challenge, and I was still able to be intrigued by it,
Right.
And gain. And I kept saying, "Oh, I'll never get these combinations," and I was punching in the air and
Yeah.
stuff, and then looking in the window or wherever we were. But
Yeah, we had a reflection on one window. Yeah, that
but
we
the
used.
point is, it was strong enough that when I walked in, I was like, "Where's Boss Man? Where are they? Where are they? I want to meet them." So, but it still kept a consistency because you had already been going, so you were able to kind of coach me along with it. Yeah.
So, do you think you and I kept each other accountable? That would probably be.
Oh
the thing.
yes,
I
you
would
kept
think.
me
I
accountable.
would think if somebody's
there was
at
no
home,
way you were going to let me slack.
Yeah, if somebody's
Yeah.
at home, they might be able
Yeah.
to do it with
Yeah.
their son, daughter, brother, sister, their spouse.
But it's completely different being there. I mean, the fact that I
Yes.
get to go there and have the bag and the coach right there being able to see what it's completely different.
Even with the heat.
Even with the heat. Even with the heat.
There is another trend called high intensity, low impact.
So,
Tell us about that.
yeah, so that I've actually tried starting a program for myself right now on that, right, where it's movements that follow one another in a way where it's still targeting specific things, but the impact of it. So, in for example, burpees.
Yes.
Instead of being able to do that jump and landing heavy on those knees,
Right.
you would exchange that for maybe like step back lunges. So you do the push up, stand
Ah,
back up,
interesting.
right? So it's more for people who have joint and things issues like that.
Or just not strong enough yet, I would think.
Yeah, you're right. So there's ways to level it up, but it's very effective. I think that one of the tools that is used a lot with that is like resistance bands.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because at that point you build your own resistance with it.
Right.
And you're able to modify things as you see fit.
Let me ask you about this, Anel. The mirror. The mirror and virtual trainers.
just saw
So
that up
tell us
there.
about the mirror as a concept. What do you think about that?
I've looked at it and I found it a little eerie, but nevertheless, it's a little weird.
Why do you think it's eerie?
I don't know. I just the idea of someone
Virtually
just-
talking to you.
right?
Like they're in your room.
right?
Look how far videos come. We went from Instagram now to embedded videos
Yeah.
on a mirror that the thing that literally attaches to your wall like a mirror,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden there's a streaming content there.
Yep.
So what do you think?
So from what I've heard is that, and I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but they also have it where they're watching you as you're doing the movement. So that in turn takes away that capability of doing the movement wrong, right?
Oh, so you're getting corrected.
So exactly. So they're able to correct you.
How are they? What? Ooh, I don't want to know. You're right.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, of course, if you set it up where it's a personal trainer, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Things like that. But I'm pretty sure when it's just like a streaming video.
I
thing,
see. Okay.
You know,
That's
it is what it is.
Yeah. pretty
Now, if
interesting.
you get products from Echelon or Peloton, where you can actually tune in to a live, cycling, workout,
Sure.
To a live spinning class, what do you think about that?
So I've done like Soul Cycle and stuff like that, and I had an okay experience simply because I fell off the bike.
Okay.
No, I did not.
Oh, did you have the clip in?
Yeah.
That's why.
I like overpowered it.
clips.
I did not understand it was more of a finesse thing.
Those
Okay.
clips.
Okay.
Ate it.
Yeah.
Ate it completely. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
A lot of people. there.
Biking's not my thing.
She tried biking. It's more running. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? So I get on a Peloton. It's not cheap. Okay.
No.
I get on it, and then I have access to a whole series of either live or previously recorded guide or workouts or trails or whatever.
I've heard only good things about it, to be honest. I haven't heard a single person complain about
Neither have I. Yeah.
about it being like an issue. Like, it still takes you there. I mean, the instructor's still giving the cues and things like that. It's kind of on you to keep up. I know a couple clients that have one, and they love. My sister as well has one, and they love it. So
Wow.
I have I used one personally? No, but again, now I'm all like deranged from that bike after a while.
Well, there's not much left energy after we leave Baby Bull to do anything.
No,
is
especially
there?
today. Yeah, especially today.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Peloton, growing around the world, Echelon, growing around the world, on-the-go wellness. You've got the Apple Watch. You've got all these things. So, what's happening that people are taking this stuff on the go? What do you think's happening?
I think it's that going back to that accountability thing, right?
Yeah.
So today I had a client come in, and he's a college student. He was in New York for the quarantine, and then just came back. Today was his first day, and he showed me his I forget what brand it is, but he showed me his watch and like all the things on the app. It tells you like your resting heart rate, your sleep, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, he goes, I see it as like a game. Like I'm trying to level myself up every chance I get.
Wow.
And so he said, he's like, it's dinner time, and I need this many more steps to get to the next point. He goes, and I'm gonna do it.
Wow. I mean, that literally is a virtual guide. I mean, it
Yeah.
really is taking
Yeah,
you.
some
Would
people
you
are
would you
driven
do
by
that, babe? Would you do that?
The problem for me is I need, if I'm going to be directed or instructed, I need someone live to do that.
Okay.
Because I'm going to look at it as, okay, like I would the GPS on the car or whatever, I'll just turn you off. Okay, I don't want to hear you, but you're not going to do, I personally am not going to do that to someone standing in front of me.
Yeah.
So my accountability goes up.
Right.
And my dedication goes up if someone's there, because I feel responsible not only for my
Right.
results, but being accountable to the person that's in front of me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one thing about, again, going back to Baby Bull and the quality of,
Yeah.
people like Anel and Brian and everybody else, is that you've got professionals in the gym that are used to leading, guiding organizations, guiding teams, guiding their departments, whatever that is. But why am I going to argue with him? We will listen to an expert and take guidance accordingly.
Right.
So I think there's a whole slew of people out there just looking for expert guidance and advice. Then you have now the trend on high-tech fitness boutiques. Okay? I think Baby Bull is one of those. Is literally a boutique approach. What about Orange Theory and the spin cycles and all because this is an elevated price point. It's not just going to a regular gym.
No.
What do you think about that?
I mean, again, it's one of those things, like you just said, you're paying for that expert attention, right? Like,
Yeah.
I also take Pilates classes, and
Ah.
I went to like a couple of them because with boxing and weightlifting, it's very easy to become stiff, right? It's very easy just to become a little rigid. And so I think flexibility is a key thing that a lot of people overlook. So like last year I did a year of yoga. Then I'll do like a year of something just different, just to change it up.
Changing it up,
Yeah, I
yeah.
did a year of like bouldering as well. So just to get new skill set, things like that.
Right.
And with the Pilates thing, I went to a couple of different studios, and some of them just weren't. Like you said, it wasn't the attention.
Yeah.
Right.
The attention wasn't there to the detail and stuff. And so the one that I'm going to now, Boost Pilates, it's
What makes it so good?
that I haven't met an instructor yet at that place who doesn't pay attention, right? So obviously Pilates is more formatted towards ladies, and so they will give like, okay, this is what the resistance needs to be.
Right.
Right?
Interesting.
And so I have instructors who come up to me and be like, for you need to go a little bit more, or for you a little bit less, or I suggest this way, so on and so forth. Right. And just that slight tuning makes the workout that much more intense, that much more personable. So I feel like the more high-tech version of working out is going to get a boom, just because, again, it's more tailored towards the person, the individual.
I also like the community aspect. I think in a boutique gym, you also have a certain community.
Definitely.
Like a family.
There's a family. I mean, I call baby people the cheers of that, because there's people that stick to that, but then there's people that don't. They say, I can't handle this because I can't handle the rigor.
Right.
I can't handle the level. We laugh about this. I said, thank God we work out outside of baby boat, because if not, we couldn't hang. I mean, literally, we laugh about that.
Yeah.
We laugh about that.
No, that's so true.
Yeah,
Very good point.
comments. Okay, excellent. All right, it is time for a quick commercial break.
Okay.
We will do that, and we'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Dr. Sadaf Javed. I'm a child and adolescent psychiatrist, and I see adults also. I've been practicing in the greater Houston area for the past 5 years, and my practice is in the west side of town. In these unprecedented times, it is so important to check in with your mental health. Please pick up the phone and call 832-304-7244 or mycognitivepsychiatry.com, and we would be happy to help. Thank you.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Hi, my name is Dr. Willie Villarreal. I'm a board-certified family nurse practitioner, doctor of nursing practice, and owner and founder at Core Sports Health here in Conroe. At Core, we take a root cause functional medicine approach to help you achieve your optimal health and vitality. If you're suffering from any of the following symptoms, we can help you through a comprehensive treatment plan that includes diet and nutrition, exercise and activity, hormonal balance, and stress reduction. For an appointment, please call us at 936-441-2673 or visit us online at coresportshealth.com. Thank you and hope to see you soon.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Turn on your glam today. The Jenna Klein collection is here, elaborated with natural products. Give yourself a compliment with our organic lip glosses in more than 15 shades. With the Jenna Klein lip gloss collection, you can hydrate your lips and keep that glamorous look that you need. Turn on your glam. Visit jennaklein.com. And don't forget our skincare collection with natural ingredients that will improve the skin's appearance and prevent visible signs of aging. We have everything you need to achieve smooth and vitalized skin. jennaklein.com. Turn on your glam today.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
So we spoke about video and live workouts in the last segment.
We
So
did.
now I'm going to pick both of your brains. Okay,
God.
on an interesting topic. Do you remember, or did you guys ever do this at your house, babe, when you were growing up? QVC and Home Shopping Network. Did you ever do that?
Oh, I remember the Home Shopping Network. but
Okay.
I don't know that. Did I buy anything off? I don't think I did.
Did your mom? Did any of you? Anybody you know?
We would watch it, and because it was like, oh my gosh, look at that, look at that, and then but
Live in the moment. It
Yeah,
was
but,
live.
but we didn't buy much. I don't know. What about you?
What about you? No?
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody's looking for a good movie to watch this weekend, watch Joy. Okay? Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper is in it. It's one of their collaborations. It's an excellent movie. And she is an entrepreneur, and there is a big QVC angle in that movie, but it's excellent. If there's anybody that needs inspiration on becoming just a self-made entrepreneur, there is up on the screen. There's the screenshot of the movie. Joy, watch that. So let's talk about live stream shopping. Have you guys ever heard of that?
No.
Likely not in the U.S., but this is a huge phenomenon in China. And I want to bring it up because it goes back to how we're adapting to live streaming and the impact that it can have on your just consumer habits. Okay. So check out this number, babe. This is going to freak you out. Live stream commerce is expected to generate $129 billion in revenue just this year in China. You haven't heard of that? Look at that, Kim Kardashian. This is big. Now, we've got a major marketplace and platform in China called Alibaba. Everybody's heard of that, okay? So Alibaba has one arm called Tobo Live, is a dedicated live stream channel. What I wasn't aware, and I've been following it for a couple of years, I just recently looked at the numbers. I didn't know they were this staggering. But check out these numbers. Live stream commerce. In China, they're projected to sell 500 million live stream shoppers and generate 500 billion transactions over the next 3 years. I mean, that is staggering. That is staggering. Would you be inclined, I'll start with an L, would you be inclined to shop live? Let's say Prime Day on Amazon that we have here. Would you be inclined to do that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Fitness equipment, you were trying to get something
I was gonna
for
say, now that you mention it, yeah, probably. Like specific things I would. I feel
like what? Like what?
For me, it'd be I'd really look at like machinery. I'd look at fitness equipment. Maybe some art supplies, but like clothing for me, I always find to be a pain in the butt to buy stuff and it not fit. And I am not gonna send it back. Like I will deal with it, or I'll gift it to someone.
Right.
But I will not send it back. I don't have the patience for that.
Right. What about you, babe? We're
Well,
talking about live.
I'm clear on what this live streaming is. So I'm assuming it's online and it's like products that are on sale or streaming down. You're like, oh, can I get this deal? Can I get this deal?
That's exactly it. Yeah. Influencers in China play a huge role in this.
Okay, I cannot say I won't.
Okay.
Because that's when you do. Well, don't we know? But, again, there's just, I'm starting to get so inundated with, am I going to go get on this shop on this site? Am I going to go shop here? Am I going to go do this? So I don't know that I would like add that to my new, it's almost stressful. Another thing I need to add to my list to go do it. It's like, how many different ways do I need?
How many different ways do I have to shop?
Yeah.
We have, literally, we have so many channels to do that.
Yeah.
And we could do it. It's funny, we were talking about this the other day. I said, well, remember when you said, we got to go hit the Black Friday sale, or we got to go hit the Memorial Day sale. We got to hit the July 4th sale.
Remember that?
We got to, the Labor Day sale, now that
always,
it's coming around this corner.
Yeah.
Well, but at the end, I say, well, they're going to have the deal anyway. They're going to have the deal anyway. Now we've come, to be accustomed to having deals literally every day.
Yeah.
I remember when Walmart really started coming into its own in the early 80s and the mid 80s, and it was the EDLP, everyday low price. Now I just expect Walmart to have, if not at least one of the lowest prices to make my shopping experience, efficient. So the big shopping day in China is called Singles Day. It's literally a combination of Black Friday and Prime Day combined. That is staggering. That really is staggering. Influencers play a critical role on live streaming. They sell products from 100,000 brands.
Crazy.
So you start thinking about what is it that's so attractive to the Chinese consumer versus the U.S. consumer. Look at these statistics. 25%, 1/4 of live shopping consumers in China are daily users. So they're literally going to a live stream channel and buying something online, daily users. 70% watch a live commerce event one time per week. When was the last time, again, I just asked you about QVC and HSN. When was the last time you watched a live commerce event? I don't remember. I don't even recall that.
Well, it also tells me something about the culture.
Okay, what does it tell you?
That they are, how I talk about this balance?
Yeah.
I don't know that they're balancing well.
Okay.
It seems like they are literally living on their devices 24/7.
They are.
And,
They are.
But
aren't we though? Aren't we as well?
I'm certainly not streaming right now or doing certain things. I think what I'm seeing is we're heavy, but that just has to, based on the numbers, that tells me they have to be that much more.
Okay.
And that's, if we're already pretty high and they're there, that means they're a lot higher than we are, which is high.
Very high.
Yeah.
Developing country, younger age group, younger than the United States.
Would you agree, Adele? What do you think about
it?
Is it too much sometimes?
I think it is.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you, I used to have a Droid, and then I broke it, and so I went to go get a new phone, and they're like, well, you can get an iPhone. I finally gave in and got an iPhone.
Sure.
Well, it tells you like how much time you spend on each app.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
I saw how much time I was spending on them, so I ended up putting timers on the apps.
Oh, that's good.
Time on.
Yeah.
Because I think I spent like 20-something hours on my phone.
God,
Man.
And I was like, that's ridiculous. So, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And so slowly dropped that now, and I'm trying to get off social media, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
What's a typical day for you in terms of being at the gym? I mean, on a typical day, how many hours?
Typical day, anywhere from probably 8 to 12, depending on.
Okay, full day.
Yeah.
Full day.
on my
And that's
day.
including your own workouts and that kind of thing?
Wow.
Okay, okay. So the question is, could live streaming, as I explained that it exists in China, could that work in the United States? What do you think?
I don't know. What do you think? I know.
I think it could. I think there's definitely a market for it. I think there's definitely a community that does everything online.
I agree with that. I
think it'll start small and then slowly just progress into a norm.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, in 2019, Amazon launched Amazon Live for live streaming, live commerce, live streaming commerce events. Now, here are some reasons why people believe that it could work in the United States. Like you just said, social interactive live streaming. There's TikTok videos. In some cases, there's just live. You can, a YouTube channel, you could just go on live. Social interactive live streaming and gaming is on the rise. Look at esports. People are, you remember a month and a half ago, I think we were talking about, electronic new digital, ways of entertainment. If you think about esports, people are going to these stadiums built or these facilities built to watch live gaming, live gaming teams, live gaming teams. Trusted content creators have always driven commerce. What do I mean by that? You have people that are spokesmen that are actually credible spokespeople. Now, if you had somebody that's promoting, an investment to buy something, so we're looking at trusted spokespeople or spokespersons that are providing credibility, on commerce. Influencer marketing. How strong do you think that would be in this case?
Oh, huge. There's tons of people who just follow specific people and buy exactly what they buy.
That's right.
Right.
Whether it's in pet, we've talked about pet, all that. All that. Now, 2 weeks ago, we started talking about social selling. Remember social selling?
Yeah.
Who did we talk about on social selling?
Oh, well, we talked about a lot.
On Instagram.
Yeah, but we talked about a lot, didn't we? I mean, but I guess specifically which person in particular?
Well, in this particular, it was an entity. We talked about Sephora. Remember?
Oh, that
staying
one,
on Sephora. So the idea here was that Sephora was trying to reduce the number of friction spots or risk of creating more friction, meaning less steps in shopping.
On Instagram.
On Instagram, exactly. So that's the idea. So if all of a sudden you could have an Instagram live like they did with their training and then actually produce content to influence you or impact you to buy something, there's live streaming right there. So we're getting closer, little by little. There is a very common phenomenon. This is a psychological, I think you studied psychology, right? You know what FOMO means? FOMO?
Yeah, FOMO, yeah.
Yeah, FOMO. What is FOMO? What is FOMO?
Fear of missing out.
That's right. Why is that so impactful?
I think Instagram and a lot of these social medias have to do with it because everyone's always posting the highlights of their life. Correct?
That's right.
So if you're not posting anything, like you hear the expression all the time,
you're a loser.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it's like if it's on social media, did it happen?
Yeah.
That's honestly
Seriously?
Wow. Yeah.
So that's why you get people who are like taking pictures of themselves at the gym, taking pictures of their food before they eat it, right? Because if you didn't post it, did it happen?
Yeah.
Right.
That's so interesting.
It's crazy.
Now it's one of those things where it's like there has to be a group shot. There has to be this. There has to be that.
Right.
And because or else, if no one's watching, then
that's right. It didn't happen.
Well,
FOMO is huge in China, so much that the live stream events are now promoting exclusive or hard to get deals after the event is over. So what happens is it drives the urgency to participate in that. Wow. So if I don't get it now, when am I going to get it or when am I going to get this deal? They can also share that. Again, look at the deal that I got and share it through social media. Now, there's a case against this working at the same level in the U.S. as it is in China. One of them is that the Chinese spend time on super apps or super applications or platforms like Alibaba. This goes back to 2 weeks ago when we were talking about why are you visiting Google versus why are you visiting Amazon. So if I'm on Alibaba, I can do everything through Alibaba, which is the leading platform, marketplace and platform in China. If I'm on Alibaba, I can watch a live stream channel, I can buy it, I can ship it, I can secure, I can do all the things on the same platform. Wow. If I'm shopping, I'm going to go to Google and investigate it, right? I might go to Facebook and check out their page. But if I'm inclined to shop, I'm probably going to go to Amazon. So you've got a very really fragmented journey that we're going on. So Amazon isn't necessarily considered for product discovery. I'm going to go to other places first, and I might compare pricing on Amazon. But if I'm going to Amazon first, I'm likely ready to buy something versus going on Facebook or Instagram, Pinterest, or Google to look for discovery, new items. That's exactly right. Amazon is when you're ready to buy. What do you think about that, babe? I mean, this thing with the live stream. Do you think the culture is going to impact us in the U.S. on this?
I think there are going, as you were saying, Anel, I think there's going to be a huge uptick, and I think there are going to be people that are going to go for it because of influencers or because someone else said do it. It's that she did it, I'm going to do it type thing. But I'm kind of hoping that there is not as much as a usage as what those numbers were in China. Just because
they're living on that
I
channel,
just think
man.
right now we are already trying to find that
balance.
how to figure that out
Right.
with all of the different things that people are experiencing with their kids or with themselves and directly about how that is impacting their lives.
Right.
And I'm just hoping that we don't take that and then go too far with it. Because,
That's true.
Yeah, that would be my thought.
That's true. All right.
Let's just get to the gym.
That's it. Let's just go back to the gym.
What happened
Let's
to
do
going
that.
back to those
Let's go
places
back
or
to
hanging
the
out with
cheers.
some friends and
The
stuff?
cheers of gyms.
Yeah.
Baby bull boxing.
Okay.
All right. Take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene, mangia italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Hi everyone, this is Chef Laurent. I'm the owner of Taste of Paris, a catering company for seniors. If you want to know more about our services, give us a call at 832-415-7374 or visit our webpage at laurentvalsculinary.com. Thank you.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
So, Anel, we open the fourth and final segment with a quote, and I want to relay this back to our workout. So listen to this, and I want to get your feedback on this. Success is not final, and failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. Let me repeat it. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. How would you apply to that to your best clients?
Wow, that's a good one. Well, because you have going into workouts, like you have specific movements that deteriorate you, right? For example, when you first got there, you couldn't do too many pull-ups, right?
Seriously, I didn't know this. Tell me, Anel. He's the pull-up man now.
Man, I had her so snowed on. I was the pull-up king, me and Brian. Now you just gave me away. Just gave me away.
Cache, you can do a pull-up.
He's right. I'm
teasing. Go ahead.
He's right.
It's one of those things where, like, for example, push-ups. If I told you to knock out 25, you can knock out 25.
Right.
The next set, you can definitely knock out another 25.
Right.
If you really push yourself.
Right.
Pull-ups is not the same thing.
That's
right?
true.
It's not. Once you hit your max once, there's no way you're gonna hit that max again.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you do.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
It's not failure. It's definitely you pushing yourself to a new extent, right? And going back to the whole failure part of that quote, like it's not failure. You're still hitting that high point every time.
Right.
It's just you're going to a new limit that your body can only push.
Yeah.
Right? So if 8's your max, and then all of a sudden the next set you get 6, and
Yeah.
then 4, and so on and so forth. I don't see that as failure. I see that as determination and getting to that next point.
What would you tell somebody that gets frustrated when they're working out and they feel like they're not making any progress? What do you tell them?
Well, it happens all the time. To be
I
honest.
bet.
Yeah,
I bet
all
it
the
does.
time. And I tell them, I was like, well, when you first got here, where were you at?
Yeah.
So you couldn't even hang on to the bar,
Mhm,
correct?
mhm.
And sometimes it takes, we have to take 2 steps back in order to take that big leap forward
Mhm.
and realize like how far we've actually come, right? Because, sometimes you forget that you were weightlifting with a 15-pound dumbbell and all of a sudden you're swinging it with 35.
Yeah.
And you break at some set and you're like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't have done that even close when you first started,
Yeah.
let alone now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I love
exactly.
that quote. I love it.
Yeah, when I say failure is not fatal, babe, what does that mean to you?
The whole quote, I love it. To me, it's don't get too comfortable in your successes, because failures are going to be right there to realign you and show you. But it's the courage to keep going back and never giving up that's going to sustain you.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
That's
about it.
excellent. That's
Yeah.
excellent. Okay. We are going to wrap up this segment with something related to events and parties, Cachet.
Really? Oh, we're going there.
Yeah, we
Oh,
are.
okay.
We are. Cachet has
Okay.
the premier event planning business, Events by Cachet.
I do. So, being small business owners, you're in that. How long, have you been? I'm going to turn it a little bit back on you.
Okay.
Going on to my second year. right
Okay,
now.
so
Okay.
you're getting your feet wet. And this is your first business.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so for me, this is third business in.
That's right.
And I like to think of it as I always say this, that the 3 different businesses have kind of married themselves. First it was interior designing and decorating and all of that decor stuff, and then it went into the fashion and all of that, and still with decor and decorating, and now it's the events, which I fell into doing tons of events with all of that. And so I'm now in a position to be able to have taken the ups, the downs, the turns, the twists, and all of the experiences, and I'm ready. I'm
going to
excited.
share something with you. Let's see if we can add this to this.
Okay.
Now, about 15 years ago, and I want to get your take on this, and I'm
Okay.
going to get Anel's take on this. About 15 years ago, hiring a celebrity to go to your party or corporate event was actually a thing.
Okay.
I don't know if you recall this or not.
I think I kind of heard about that.
And the people that you invited that were celebrities, they could have been an athlete, they could have been a comedian, they could have been, an actor or an actress. They weren't there just to perform or sing a song or anything like that. They were literally there to mingle, because what it did was it provided a special angle, something unique about that event, that event. I was reading that 15 years ago, you could hire Jessica Simpson to go to your party for $1 million.
Wow.
Okay, now if you don't have $1 million, you could have hired Potsy from Happy Days for a couple of grand. I mean, this is
Look
literally.
how it goes down.
I know.
So one person's worth $1 million, one's worth $2,000. Wow, how did they come up with the numbers?
But if you think about it, you had people that were just, B actors, D actors, or whatever. Say, well, if I can go and I have a familiar face, and people have said, hey, we had so-and-so there.
Well, just
we had
create a
so-and-so there.
page. Today with Cachet, how much for your party? Yeah, to show up and appear. I can put that as one of my services, right? Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I also read that even Dana Carvey had been hired to, come to Houston for an energy company and $100,000 to tell a couple of jokes at a corporate event. And then you also see that with musicians. They do a lot of corporate events as they go down, they're really kind of out of fashion.
Yeah.
Well, that has changed radically today.
Oh, wow.
Would you agree that today we have an incredible affinity now to video, and given the fact that also COVID has prompted that, right? We talked about the virtual workouts. Now we have the live stream thing.
Sure.
Even celebrity cameos have changed. So you can hire a celebrity to do shout outs for you or your company on a website called cameo.com. Have you heard of this?
No.
You have heard of it?
Yes.
Oh, you have.
We did that for a friend of ours. So all my group of friends were a huge fan of Scrubs.
Okay.
And I forget what the actor's name is, but he's the doctor who would always high five everyone.
That's right. That's right.
And so we got him to call our friend on his birthday and just give him
That's
entire
so
message
freaking cool
about his birthday.
Yeah.
And then another client at the gym, he was able to get, I forget what famous boxer, but to call his dad and be like, "Hey man, happy birthday."
This is cool.
This is cool.
This is cool. This is cool.
I've seen it done as a link on Zoom. You have people, they call in and said, "Hey, you guys are getting ready for your meeting. Want to wish you a great meeting."
great.
And so wouldn't that
That's
kind of, how many times have we been on Zoom calls, conference calls, and say it's the same
someone pops
drill.
up,
Somebody
yeah?
pops up.
You're like,
Conan,
"What?"
pops
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Conan pops up. What was their reaction when they got that call or they got that? What was the reaction?
Adolfo called all of us. So we
That's great.
he called
How
all of
cheap
us
they are.
individually And we were cracking up, and we were like expecting him to call us, and he's like, I don't know how you guys got this guy to do this, but that was awesome. He's like, I've saved it. He goes, I've watched it a couple dozen times.
Yeah.
He loved it.
And it's all virtual, right?
Yep.
Because you have to know
recorded.
it's them, right?
It's recorded.
Yeah, exactly.
So what they have is they have the celebrities. Celebrities could be actors, they can be musicians, they can be athletes, and what the performer even has a star rating.
Wow.
They have a star rating, they have reviews, and they have sample videos of what they've done. Would you ever do something like this for a special
you're an
event?
expert
Now
now
I need your
creative.
expertise. What do you think about this
I think
for
it's,
corporate events?
I think it's cool.
Okay.
And for the events, I would love to. Of course, they've already taken the idea, but I definitely would put it as an option when I'm, having a consultation with someone.
Oh,
and
wow,
say,
yeah.
Here's some options for you to make your party or the birthday special
Makes
even
it
more.
different. Yeah,
I
makes it
kind of
different.
like this. I'm glad you
But
gave me that idea.
when you are looking at and interviewing I know that you interview your prospects and possible clients. What would you ask them? I said, what would you ask them to guide them to something like this and see if they would be interested? What would you ask them?
Well, I would first want to understand how they feel about, whether it's the celebrities and how high that ranks to them. Because some people may say, I don't care if I see a celebrity as much as some other people. Oh my God, I want to, basically kind of get their gauge on how they feel about celebrity and the limelight and all that. And if they're a person that likes that a lot, then that's a person you're going to want to kind of give them, or the person that they're planning the party for or planning the event for. If they're high into a celebrity or they like somebody a lot, and you get those details and you want to sell that service, that's the kind of person you'd sell it to. A person who says, I really don't care about that kind of stuff, I wouldn't even really bring that to the table.
Do you know who Jeremy Piven is?
Maybe.
He's an actor. You've seen him in more of a character actor. He was an Entourage. He was an Entourage. Well known.
Yeah.
And so he's a Jewish actor. He's excellent.
He's
really
him.
funny. He's also a comedian. He's a funny actor. But he was paid a lot of money to walk out in. Now this is now in person. Okay. What he did, they paid him. This is in Los Angeles, to walk out in a gentleman's daughter's birthday. He walked out of the kitchen with the birthday cake because she loved him.
That's great.
To
great.
do that.
Something like that. That's good. She loved him. It was great. Sometimes it can change a person forever.
That's
it's
true.
Something that powerful, like you hear about. I hate to say this, but a lot of times when people are, on their deathbed, and they say it was my dream to meet this person or see this person, and those particular people
That's
hear about
a really
that.
good point.
They
That's
hear
a really
about
good
it,
point.
and they
Yeah.
come in for free. So sometimes that makes that much of an impact. That's why it's important to find out,
Or even the video.
Yeah,
even the
to
video.
find out what that is to someone, and if
So
it makes sense.
yeah, so they do personal videos. It could be like a shot, like he said, the guy from Scrubs.
Yeah.
Or it could be a promotional one.
Yeah.
How do you think that would work from a promotional standpoint for a business?
Anil, are you going to do it for your shop business?
Ooh, I'm not sure about that.
yeah, you can test it out. Yeah.
No.
What do you think for promotional purposes that you could provide for?
Well, I think if it's a certain kind of event, that can play well into.
Yeah.
Again, it has to depend on that. For me, my idea is organic events. So I love doing something different and making it something that hasn't a touch of different things to it. So I wouldn't say I'm going to use it across the board.
Yeah.
But I would entertain it and keep it in my back pocket.
Sure.
Because I may need to use it.
That's good. That's good. And now we're going to close up here in a couple of minutes,
Yeah.
but I just want to say thank you to you and also to the staff at Baby Bull. You
all y'all
offered
do.
the Instagram training for free. And that's actually says a lot about, as I understand it.
Yeah.
Why did you guys do that when you did that during the COVID and the gyms were on lockdown? Why did you do that?
We as a team, we all agreed that we have built a very good community with that gym.
I agree with that.
And it's one of those things where people come in and have conversations, ask about each other's families, go out to dinner together. They've built friendships, they've built communities, and we've built a massive community. And so we figured that in a time as random and chaotic as it is now, keeping that community is essential. So we figured that, it keeping that community as strong as possible and making sure that you guys had something to blow steam off of was important. And there are days, I'm not gonna lie, where like I'd get up and I'd do the video and I'd be completely spent, because when you're counting and trying to breathe and doing movements at the same time was a lot more difficult than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And at one point I remember I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. Because we would do it 3 times a day.
That's true.
We did it for an entire month and a half.
That's true.
At
That's true.
At that rate, right?
Yeah.
And so it was those times where like I'd have one day off and then go back to work like 6 days, right?
Yeah.
And all of us,
That's brutal.
All of us would hit that point where we were like hitting that wall. And I remember I was almost hitting that wall, and then a client messaged me and goes, "Hey, thank you so much."
Oh,
like
wow.
this,
Wow.
right? And it came in at the perfect time where I
Wow.
was like, you know what, this is worth it. This is
Well,
more than enough.
one of the first dates I had with Cachet was taking her to a boxing class at Baby Bowl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
That should tell you.
that's right.
That should
and
tell
the rest
you-
is history.
That should tell you how important and how effective that the gym is. So real quick, tell everyone if they want to come see you.
Yeah, come on in, guys. We're at 4701 Rose Street. To let them know that you guys listen to Cachet today, and we'll let them in free.
Beautiful.
Get 'em in.
Awesome.
There you go.
First class
There we
on
go.
us.
All right. I think that's it.
All
Okay.
right, it's Labor
That is the
Day
show.
weekend. Everybody have a great one.
Have a great Labor Day, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.